Okay, imagine this. You've planned the perfect day, right? Maybe it's, I don't know, that outdoor concert you've been waiting for ages, or a hike, something you've really looked forward to, or maybe just a quiet afternoon in the garden. You've checked the weather, packed everything.
You're all set, anticipation's high.
Exactly. And then, boom, out of nowhere, the skies just open up, pouring rain, maybe thunder rolls in, your plans totally washed away.
Yeah, happens to the best of us.
Or maybe it's not literal rain. Maybe it's a big project at work you've poured months into, hits some crazy snag, or a personal dream just seems to, well, fall apart.
Right, that feeling of deflation. Like, well, that's that then.
It's so easy to feel like everything's just ruined, you know? But what if? What if that rain, those unexpected kind of tough moments aren't just something you have to grit your teeth and endure?
What if there's something in the rain?
Yeah. What if it's actually like an invitation? A chance to see something new, a hidden landscape of possibilities you wouldn't have noticed otherwise.
That's really the heart of what we want to unpack today, isn't it? So many of us are kind of taught, or we absorb the idea that real happiness that only happens when everything goes perfectly to plan, eternal sunshine, smooth sailing.
Right, the fairy tale version.
Exactly. But what if genuine contentment, that deep sense of okayness, is actually found in how we navigate the messy bits, the changes, the uncertainties, finding your feet when the ground shifts, maybe even finding some joy right there in the middle of it all?
That's it. So our mission for this deep dive, really, is to look at some practical ways, some deep insights.
Yeah.
Drawing from, well, all sorts of places, health, psychology, even some timeless spiritual wisdom. The goal is to help you, listening right now, see how you can transform those moments that feel like setbacks into, well, opportunities. Opportunities for deeper appreciation, for real growth, and for building this kind of inner contentment that doesn't just vanish when the weather changes, so to speak.
Yeah, building something solid inside, regardless of the outside. We'll look at embracing change, the tricky art of letting go, building up that inner resilience, how all that can unlock a real sense of freedom, maybe even serenity.
Okay, let's dive in. Where do we start?
Let's start with something really foundational. It might feel a bit unsettling at first, maybe, but stick with it because it's actually incredibly freeing. It's this idea of the unfolding tapestry of impermanence.
Impermanence, okay.
Yeah. The core idea is just this. Everything changes. Everything is in flux. Life isn't static. It's like a river, always moving. Nothing stays the same forever. And that's not meant to be depressing. It's just the way things are. A basic truth of existence.
It links to that idea of transience, right?
Yeah.
Knowing that every moment is brief.
Exactly. Every single moment.
Think about your breath right now. In, out, gone. A word someone says, a feeling. It's all fleeting. And when you really get that, it doesn't have to make you sad about things ending. It actually makes you want to really value the moment while it's here. Savor it because it is brief.
Precisely. It shifts the focus.
So change isn't this weird interruption to normal life. It is normal life, like the seasons changing or the weather shifting. You don't expect summer to last forever, do you?
You don't. Resisting it is like trying to hold back the tide. It's resisting reality itself.
Okay, so if change is inevitable, how do we deal with it?
Yeah.
That brings us to acceptance, I guess.
Yes, and this is so crucial. Acceptance gets a bad rap sometimes. People think it means giving up or just rolling over or pretending something difficult isn't actually difficult.
Right, like passive resignation.
Exactly. But that's not it at all. True acceptance is active. It's a conscious choice. It's about acknowledging what is, seeing the reality of the situation, maybe a challenging one, clearly. But then, and this is the key part, choosing not to let that reality completely define you or your entire emotional state.
So you see the rain, you acknowledge it's raining, but you don't let the rain become your whole world.
Beautifully put. You recognize the situation in its raw form, and then you consciously choose your response. That's where the power lies.
And that's where the empowerment comes from, isn't it? Choosing acceptance makes navigating those unexpected twists and turns so much easier. You stop fighting the current.
You start to move with the flow of life instead of constantly battling against it, which, let's face it, is exhausting.
Totally exhausting.
Yeah.
I found this quote that really nails it. Acceptance does not mean that you deny the reality of a challenging situation. It simply means that you acknowledge it and choose not to let it define you.
That's powerful.
It goes on, embracing impermanence means embracing the beauty of life's ever-changing nature. And when you look at it that way, it really does free you up to find, well, unexpected beauty or insights, even when things are tough.
It really does, because what's the alternative? Resistance. And resistance, honestly, is often the direct path to suffering. We humans, we have this default setting, almost, to resist change. We cling to what's familiar.
We like our comfort zones.
We really do. We try to control outcomes, dictate how things should be, but life rarely cooperates fully with our detailed plans, does it?
Not in my experience.
And that rigidity, that expectation that things must go a certain way, that often leads straight to disappointment, frustration. Think about it psychologically. Cognitive dissonance, right? That mental stress when your beliefs clash with reality.
Yeah, that uncomfortable feeling.
When we cling hard to a fixed outcome and reality serves up something different, our brain kind of fights itself. And it's not just in our heads. Studies show that resisting outcomes can keep stress hormones like cortisol elevated long after the event. There's a real physical cost to that resistance.
Wow. So letting go of needing to control everything, that's not weakness. It's actually strength.
Huge strength and wisdom. When you loosen that tight grip, when you release the need for things to be exactly as you planned, you create space.
Space for what?
Space for growth. Space for unexpected good things to happen. Space for new beginnings. It allows positive changes to actually find their way into your life. It really drives home that letting go of the idea that things should stay the same, that frees us up to see and appreciate the beauty in life's constant movement. Like watching a river always changing, always beautiful in its flow.
Okay, so if we're embracing this flow, this constant change, we need something to hold on to, right? An anchor in the storm.
Absolutely, we need an anchor. And that anchor, that really essential tool, is presence, the transformative power of being fully present.
What does that mean exactly? Living fully in the now.
Yes, living completely in the current moment. Consciously, deliberately stepping away from worries about the past things you can't change anyway, and anxieties about the future things that might never even happen.
Gosh, that's hard, though. I know I spent way too much time replaying past conversations or worrying about what-ifs.
We all do, to some extent. It's human. But the practice is about gently bringing yourself back, because it's only by focusing on the now that you really tap into the essence of life. That's where the peace is, the clarity.
And it has real-world benefits, too, doesn't it? It's not just some floaty concept.
Not at all. Think about it. When you're truly present, fully engaged, what happens? You listen better. You actually hear what people are saying.
Yeah, instead of just planning your reply.
Exactly. You become a keener observer of everything around you, the little details you usually miss. And crucially, you build deeper, more authentic connections with people and your environment. You're actually there.
So how do we cultivate this presence? Mindfulness comes up a lot.
It does. Mindfulness is a key tool. And simply put, it's about paying attention. Deliberately paying attention to your thoughts, your feelings, the sensations in your body as they happen. But, and this is the really important part, without judging them.
Without the self-criticism.
Yes. It's not about emptying your mind, which is a common myth. It's about observing what's there. Witnessing your inner world without getting tangled up in it, without labeling things good or bad, like watching clouds drift by. You see them, acknowledge them, but you don't try to grab them or change their shape.
Okay, so you just notice. How does that simple noticing help us deal with life's challenges?
It boosts your self-awareness massively. You start to understand your own patterns, your reactions, much better. And that awareness gives you more choice in how you respond. It helps you navigate difficulties with more grace, more intention, more resilience, ultimately.
It's not about having a perfect mind, then.
Definitely not. It's about realizing that, as one source put it, every instant is full of its unique charm and wisdom. Even the difficult instance, there's something to be learned or experienced in each one if we're present for it.
That's a beautiful way to think about it. Finding the charm even in the mundane or the tough bits.
Exactly. And you can start really simply. Practical steps. Take a few deep breaths. Right now, even. Feel the air coming in, going out. That anchors you physically in this moment.
Okay. Breathing. What else?
Engage your senses. Consciously ask yourself, what do I actually see right now? Not just a blur, but specific shapes, colors. What sounds can I hear? Near, far. What smells are in the air? Just tune in.
It's like hitting a reset button, bringing yourself back.
It is. And you can weave these practices into your day. journaling, just writing down thoughts and feelings without judgment, yoga or gentle movement connecting mind and body, even consciously practicing gratitude or thanksgiving, actively looking for things you appreciate.
Right. We'll get more into gratitude later, I think.
We will. But all these things reduce stress and build a more positive outlook. And it all connects back to accepting change, because being present lets you see the good, the lesson, the opportunity within what's happening now. You meet reality where it is rather than wishing it were different.
There's that famous haiku, isn't there? The one by Basho.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Barn's burnt down, now I can see the moon.
Such a powerful image.
It really is. It perfectly illustrates this point. A huge loss, the barn is gone. Devastating, presumably. But that very destruction reveals something else, something beautiful that was always there but hid in the moon. It shows how loss or change, even painful change, can shift our perspective and reveal something new if we're present enough to see it.
That's quite profound.
Yeah.
And it leads nicely into this next idea, which I find fascinating. Finding joy in the little things. Discovering glimmers.
Yes. This is such an important counterpoint to our culture's obsession with big achievements. We often think happiness comes only from landing the big promotion, buying the dream house, these huge milestones.
Instagrammable moments.
Pretty much. But the sources we looked at really challenge this. They say the happiness of achieving success is fleeting. It lasts for a bit, then maybe self-doubt creeps in, or the pressure of what's next.
Yeah, the high wears off quickly.
It does. So the idea is that true sustainable joy isn't just about those peaks. It's found in enjoying the journey. And a huge part of enjoying the journey is recognizing the immense value of the small things in life.
It's shifting focus from the distant summit to the path under your feet.
Exactly. And appreciating the flowers along the path, so to speak. It's a fundamental reorientation towards the richness of the present moment.
And when you start looking, these small things, these everyday pleasures, they're everywhere, aren't they?
They really are. It's just about noticing them, like the smell of coffee in the morning, that first sip.
Or pulling on a warm pair of socks on a cold day.
Yes. Or the feeling of clean sheets on the bed, the satisfaction of tidying a messy desk, even just ticking something small off your to-do list, that little dopamine hit of accomplishment. It's comparable in its own way to achieving something much bigger.
It's finding the small wins.
Absolutely. And beyond those daily routines, think about connections, cherished memories, quality time with people you love, even brief moments. How often does your phone pop up with a photo memory that just makes you smile and feel grateful for that person or that experience?
Oh, all the time.
Ah.
Nice little nudge of appreciation.
It does. And then there's creativity, music, art, writing. These aren't just hobbies. They can be deep sources of joy and self-discovery. You hear a song lyric and suddenly think, wow, that's exactly how I feel. It's like your subconscious sending you a little message.
Yeah, it resonates.
So building on all this, the term glimmers came about, coined by therapist Deb Dana. Glimmers are specifically these small, often sensory, positive experiences, things that bring a quick flash of safety, calm, or joy.
Okay, so they're like micro moments of good stuff.
Exactly. They're subtle, fleeting, but they have this incredible power to shift your emotional state, even just for a second. They regulate your nervous system.
So if we think about triggers, things that set off our stress response.
Right, things that make us feel anxious or unsafe.
Then glimmers are the opposite. They calm us down.
Precisely. Glimmers activate the body's relaxation response, the parasympathetic nervous system. They soothe you, promote well-being. Simple concept, huge impact.
And this isn't just like fluffy positive thinking. There's science behind it.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just social media nonsense. It's rooted in things like polyvagal theory, developed by Dr. Stephen Porges.
Okay, break that down a bit.
Sure. Very simply, polyvagal theory explains how our vagus nerve, this major nerve running through our body, helps regulate our nervous system state, shifting us between feeling safe and connected, feeling threatened, fight or flight, or shutting down. A glimmer acts like a little safety cue sent up the vagus nerve to the brain.
So seeing a flower or feeling sunshine, that tells your brain, hey, you're okay right now.
Essentially, yes. It helps shift you out of a defensive state and into a state of calm and connection, the rest and digest mode.
Wow. And it connects to neuroplasticity too, you said.
Yes. Neuroplasticity is the brain's amazing ability to change and rewire itself based on experience. When you consistently notice and savor glimmers, you're actively training your brain. You're strengthening the neural pathways associated with safety, calm, and positivity.
So you're literally building a more positive brain.
You really are. Over time, your brain gets better and more efficient at recognizing the good stuff. It becomes easier to find joy naturally. It's like building a joy muscle.
That's incredible. So these glimmers, these micro moments, they actually balance out the negative stuff and reduce stress.
They do. They build up this inner reservoir of positive experiences. Think of it like making small deposits into your emotional bank account. Each glimmer strengthens your resilience.
Okay, I'm sold. How do we become better glimmer hunters? It might not feel natural at first.
It might not, especially if you're used to scanning for threats or problems. So start small. Maybe challenge yourself playfully. Find 5 glimmers today. Just 5.
And what do? Just notice them.
Notice them and maybe take a second to really feel them. You could jot them down in a notebook, snap a quick photo on your phone, or just make a mental note. The act of consciously acknowledging them is what reinforces those neural pathways.
Makes sense.
Another thing you can do is proactively surround yourself with glimmer cues.
Like setting yourself up for success.
Exactly. Intentionally place things around you that you know give you a little lift. A favorite scented candle, a cozy blanket, fresh flowers, a picture that makes you smile. Put on music you love, make your bed with fresh sheets, savor that piece of chocolate with your coffee. You're consciously creating opportunities for these micro joys.
I like that. Being intentional about it.
And crucially, it involves consciously shifting focus from negativity. Look, bad days happen. Frustrating things happen. That's life. Acknowledge the nonsense, as one source put it. But even on rough days, glimmers still exist. You just have to choose to look for them. It's about choosing your lens, choosing where you put your attention, even when things are hard. That choice is your power.
That ability to choose our focus, our lens,
Yeah.
that leads perfectly into reframing, right? Challenging negative thoughts.
Absolutely. Reframing the narrative. This is all about dealing with those automatic negative thoughts, the ANTs, as they're sometimes called, those often pessimistic, sometimes irrational thoughts that just pop into our heads and really color our mood and how we see things.
And the goal isn't to just stop them, because that feels impossible.
Totally impossible. Our brains generate thoughts constantly. The goal is to identify them when they show up and, really importantly, to understand that they aren't always the truth. They're just thoughts, suggestions maybe, not facts, not commands.
Okay, so what are some common patterns of these negative thoughts?
Well, one big one is catastrophizing. That's when your mind jumps to the absolute worst case scenario from a relatively minor event.
Like you make a typo in an email and immediately think, I'm going to get fired.
Exactly. Even though logically that's incredibly unlikely, your brain just magnifies it into a catastrophe.
Okay, what else?
Overgeneralization. Taking one negative event and painting your entire life or future with it. You have one bad date and conclude, see, I'm completely undateable. I'll be alone forever.
When it was just one date, one person, one interaction.
Precisely. It says nothing about your overall desirability or future prospects. Then there's personalization.
Taking things personally.
Yes, assuming other people's actions are always about you. Your boss seems stressed and you immediately think, they must be mad at me. What did I do wrong? When really they could be dealing with something completely unrelated.
Right, it's not always about us.
It rarely is. And finally, a really common one is all or nothing thinking. Black and white thinking. Seeing things in extremes.
Like, if I don't ace the presentation, I'm a total failure.
Exactly. No room for good enough, or I did well on parts of it, or I learned something. It's either perfect success or complete failure. Life just isn't usually that extreme.
So, recognizing these patterns is the first step. But then what? How do we reframe?
The power lies in actively, consciously changing the lens. Reframing isn't about pretending bad things are good. It's about adjusting your perspective to be more balanced, more realistic, more constructive, finding a more helpful way to interpret the situation.
And what are the benefits of doing that?
Huge benefits. First, it enhances your outlook. Shifting focus from only the negatives to acknowledging positives too leads to a more hopeful, optimistic view. Second, it naturally increases appreciation and gratitude for the good things, which we know boosts happiness. And third, directly challenging negative thoughts reduces stress and anxiety. It calms the system down.
Okay, practical steps. How do we actually do it in the moment?
But the absolute first step is notice and pause. Catch the negative thought as it arises. Just see it. Then take a tiny break, a deep breath, count to 5. Anything to interrupt its momentum. Create a little space.
That pause is key.
It's crucial. In that space, you can then actively practice gratitude. Consciously bring to mind things you are grateful for, even small things. This actively shifts your brain's focus to abundance, to what's working.
So even if something bad happened, you can still find something good elsewhere in your life.
Yes. And maybe even find something to be grateful for within the difficult situation, like a lesson learned or strength discovered. The active practice of noticing the good is powerful, whether you use a journal or just do it mentally. Listing 3 specific things daily can really rewire your focus.
And this takes practice, right? It's not a one-time fix.
Definitely not. You have to make it a habit. It's like building any muscle. It takes consistent effort. Maybe set little reminders on your phone, check your thoughts. The more you practice observing and gently challenging, the more automatic it becomes.
And be kind to yourself in the process.
Absolutely. Celebrate small wins. Acknowledge when you do manage to catch a negative thought or shift your perspective, even a little bit. That reinforces the habit and keeps you motivated.
And what if these thoughts are really persistent or overwhelming?
Then it is absolutely okay and often incredibly helpful to seek professional support. Mental health professionals are trained to help you understand and work with these patterns effectively and safely. Reaching out is a sign of strength, not weakness. It's taking proactive care of your mental well-being.
That's such an important point. It's okay to need help with this stuff. All of this ties into building that inner strength, doesn't it? Building resilience.
Exactly, the foundations of resilience. And let's redefine resilience first. We often think of it as some rare superhero quality, unshakable, perfect.
Yeah, like nothing ever bothers resilient people.
Right, which isn't true. The sources we looked at describe it much more realistically as a learned skill, an adaptable capacity. One source even called it an everyday miracle. It's about patterns, behaviors, thoughts, actions that anyone can develop with practice.
Okay, so it's learnable, not something you're just born with or without.
Precisely. The word itself comes from material science, a substance bouncing back after pressure. For humans, it's about adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or even significant stress, bouncing back or even bouncing forward.
And life throws different kinds of challenges at us, needing different kinds of resilience.
Definitely. We need to distinguish them. First, there's disadvantage. These are often systemic, long-term things like poverty, discrimination, lack of educational opportunities. These create ongoing hurdles.
And overcoming these often needs more than just individual grit, right?
Absolutely. Because they're often self-generating cycles, external support systems, community programs, mentorship, policy changes are usually crucial for overcoming systemic disadvantage. Individual resilience helps, but it's often not enough on its own.
Okay, then what?
Then you have everyday challenge. These are the normal, non-traumatic bumps in the road. Your schedule gets messed up, you have an unexpected task, a minor disagreement.
The daily stuff.
Yeah. And how we handle these depends a lot on our skills versus the difficulty. If your skills match the challenge, you might hit that flow state focused, engaged, growing. Too much challenge for your skills. Anxiety. Too little. Boredom. Resilience here is about flexibility, problem solving these daily things effectively.
Got it. And then things get more serious.
Yes. Next is crisis. A crisis is defined as a problem that overwhelms your usual coping mechanisms, causing significant disruption for a period. Think accidents, serious illness, job loss, divorce. Even sudden positive changes you're not ready for can trigger a crisis state.
Like a huge promotion you feel unprepared for.
Exactly. Crises usually have stages. The event itself may be denial, then realizing the impact and trying out different solutions. Resilience is what helps you navigate through those stages and eventually adapt and recover.
And the most intense level.
Trauma. Horrific life events, violence, disasters, abuse that are deeply distressing and completely overwhelm a person's ability to cope. Processing trauma in a healthy way almost always requires specialized professional help. It's beyond ordinary coping strategies. It's vital we recognize these distinctions.
Okay, so knowing the different types of hurdles is important. How do we build the resilience to handle them, especially a challenging crisis? The APA has some guidelines.
Yes, the American Psychological Association outlines key strategies, which we can think of as 4+1 methods. The first is networking.
Not just LinkedIn connections.
Definitely not. This means fostering deep, empathetic relationships with people you trust, people you can really rely on. It also means being part of supportive communities, clubs, volunteer groups, faith communities, whatever resonates. These connections combat isolation and give a sense of purpose. Quality over quantity.
Makes sense. What's number 2?
Self-care. And this is more than just bubble baths, though those can be nice. It's seriously prioritizing physical health, exercise, good nutrition, enough sleep. It's also integrating mindfulness practices, journaling, yoga, gratitude. And crucially, avoiding negative coping mechanisms like excessive drinking or drug use. Those numb you temporarily but erode resilience long term.
Okay. Networking, self-care. Third,
Finding goals. Setting achievable goals for yourself, maybe even community goals, breaking down big problems into smaller, manageable steps so you don't feel overwhelmed, actively looking at challenges as opportunities to learn about yourself, and, interestingly, helping others is a huge resilience booster. It gives purpose and perspective.
helping others helps yourself. I like that. Fourth,
Healthy thinking. This connects back to reframing, developing a realistic but generally optimistic outlook. Putting things in perspective, a current setback doesn't ruin your whole future. Identifying and challenging those irrational thoughts. Accepting that change is constant. Learning from the past without being trapped by it.
okay, networking, self-care, goals, healthy thinking. What's a +1?
The +1 is asking for help. Recognizing when you need support and having the courage to seek it out. Whether it's from friends, family, community resources, or professionals. So many people struggle with this, feeling it's a weakness.
But it's actually a strength.
A huge strength. It shows self-awareness and resourcefulness. The message is, you don't have to go through hard times alone. Support is available and using it is smart. We truly aren't alone, and focusing on what we can influence with support is key.
That's powerful. And this resilience framework fits well with positive psychology.
Very well. Positive psychology, pioneered by Martin Seligman, shifts the focus from what's wrong with people, disorders, deficits, to what's right, their strengths, virtues, and well-being.
Seligman and Peterson identified character strengths.
Yes, they researched cultures across the globe and found 24 widely valued character strengths grouped into 6 virtues like wisdom, courage, humanity, justice, temperance, and transcendence. Strengths like curiosity, bravery, kindness, fairness, self-control, gratitude, hope.
So knowing your own strengths, like the perseverance or creativity or whatever.
Knowing them and consciously using them gives you internal resources to draw on when facing challenges. It's about leveraging what you're naturally good at rather than only focusing on fixing flaws. It builds confidence and effectiveness.
All these threads, accepting impermanence, being present, finding glimmers, reframing thoughts, building resilience, they seem to lead towards a deeper kind of letting go, don't they?
They absolutely do. It culminates in understanding the freedom that comes from detachment from outcomes, non-attachment.
Which sounds a bit cold, maybe? Detached.
It can sound that way, but it's not about being cold or indifferent. It's fundamental to accepting impermanence. It means releasing those really tight grips on specific desires, on needing to control every outcome, on fixed expectations.
So loosening the grip allows you to handle change better.
Much better, with more calm, more ease, more adaptability. When you're not desperately clinging to how things must be, you can navigate how they actually are more gracefully. As one source said, letting go frees us from clinging to what we think makes us happy or whole.
And that creates space.
Yes, vital space for new possibilities, new growth. It frees you from the prison of your own rigid expectations.
Simone Weil had that quote about attachment creating illusions.
Yes, a profound one. Attachment is the great fabricator of illusions. Reality can be obtained only by someone who is detached. Our attachments to outcomes, possessions, even identities often create a distorted view. We suffer when reality inevitably doesn't match the illusion we've built.
So letting go is an active choice, to surrender the illusion of control.
It is an active choice to flow with the current of life, rather than demanding it stay still or go exactly where you want it to.
But does that mean you stop caring or stop enjoying things?
Not at all. If anything, it allows you to cherish the present moment more fully, more intensely. Because you're not clouded by the fear of losing it, you can appreciate the beauty of what's here, now, while holding the understanding that it, like everything, is transient. You can savor it completely and then release it when the time comes without being shattered.
That sounds incredibly peaceful.
It is. But it takes work, inner work, introspection, understanding why you cling so tightly to certain things, what fears are underneath. Truly internalizing the transient nature of everything helps free you from the anxiety of loss. It's an ongoing practice.
So wrapping it all up, embracing impermanence lets us value each moment, flow with change, and find this deep comfort and richness in the journey itself.
Exactly. Releasing attachments opens the door to new joys, new lessons, making life feel fuller, more vibrant, more meaningful. It's a truly liberating way to live.
Wow. Okay, that was definitely a deep dive. Let's try and quickly recap the absolute key takeaways of things we really hope you, our listeners, take away from this.
All right, first, that constant change and permanence, it's not the enemy. It's natural, inevitable, maybe even beautiful if we embrace it.
Second, cultivating presence, really being here now and actively looking for those small glimmers of joy in unexpected places. Those are incredibly powerful keys to unlocking real contentment.
Third, learning to reframe negative thoughts, catching them, challenging them, shifting perspective. That transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. Huge difference in outlook.
Fourth, resilience isn't some magic trait. It's a skill you can build through connection, self-care, having goals, thinking healthily, and knowing when to ask for help. It's about adapting and thriving.
And finally, the profound freedom of letting go. Detaching from rigid outcomes, releasing the need for permanence. That fosters genuine inner peace and liberation.
So here's a final thought for everyone listening to mull over. What rainy day in your life right now, what challenge or unexpected turn might actually be hiding a unique glimmer, a hidden beauty or opportunity if you just chose to look for it with fresh eyes?
How might embracing that ebb and flow like water shaping stone actually strengthen your path? How might it allow you to not just get through things, but to find real beauty and wisdom in every moment, no matter how unexpected?
Something to think about. Thank you so much for diving deep with us today.
Always a pleasure.
We'll catch you on the next one.